Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're having a good week. Just a few things I want to touch base with you on this week, and so I'm going to jump right in. First of all, I just wanted to make sure that everybody is aware that I am giving you feedback on your homeworks. Um, Especially if I deduct points, I'll tell you why. And I try to give you some good feedback too on what I would have expected to see in your discussion. So if you don't know how to find that or having trouble finding that, let me know and I'll help you get to it. Okay. Also, I wanted to mention, and I did explain this in Blackboard under week 3 for the MindTap portion of the work for this week, but I have made a change for the way MindTap assignments are handled as of Chapter 3 and going forward. So moving forward, the practice portions of the MindTap work will allow you to take the assignment twice, and you can check your work and change your answers and figure out what the right answers are. But for the graded portion of the MindTap assignment, um, you're only going to be allowed one attempt at that, and you're not going to be allowed to change your answers. Check your work to change your answers. So just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. I did specify that in Blackboard under the MindTap um, disc, explanation area, I guess is the right way to say that. But I think a couple people had questions on that, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. I wanted to make sure too that everybody's aware of the group project folder and where that lives, so I'll show you that, and then we'll talk about chapter 3 a little bit. So first of all, in Blackboard under lessons here on the left, there's going to always be, let me go back here for a second. So for chapter 3, here's the video that you'll need. Here's the discussion assignment that goes with the video. And then down below the discussion assignment, here is an explanation of what you'll need to do in MindTap for this chapter. And so what I wanted to point out here was that you'll have this information for every week to know exactly what you need to complete in MindTap. And so I think some people aren't aware of that, so I wanted to point that out. I'm sorry, my allergies are bad today for some reason, so my eyes are watery. Anyway, also in Blackboard, over here under Resources, there's a group project folder that you should be aware of. There's lots of information in here, including an explanation of the case study, overview of what your deliverables need to be for the case study. The peer evaluation form is in there, the team profile form is in there, and I think that's about it. I'll have grading rubrics in there too, or I guess just a grading rubric for the term project. But anyway, I wanted to make you aware that that information is there. All right, so moving on to chapter 3. This chapter is really a blown up version of a section in chapter 2 where these factors were mentioned very briefly. So chapter 3 goes into much more detail with respect to these factors that impact the external marketing environment. So when you're running a business, you're going to have to be aware of what your competitors are, what kind of competitors they are. You'll need to be aware of how the economy is. The economy will impact consumers' buying power, how they spend their money, and it's just going to impact how you go about targeting them, as will political realities, like regulations and laws, and of course technology. Consider that just for a second. If imagine that you were a company that didn't have a website or didn't have an app where people could buy your product online. I mean, anymore, that's almost something you have to have almost. And so if you're not keeping pace with the technology that's impacting your world, your competitive world, you're going to be at a disadvantage. Similarly, the demographics of the consumers in the area you're marketing to, their values, all of the sociocultural impacts are going to be extremely important to you as a company. So the chapter talks about those itself. All right, so here's a list of the definitions and the concepts I would expect you to get from the chapter. And I don't really want to go over all of these. You'll read about them, but let me know if you do have any questions.